Hi, I have great news. Um, I have recently been, I guess, I don't know, blessed maybe with information that I've put together that was compiled into a little brief history of the genetic um, game running on Earth, or genetic continuance, the genetic makeup of us over the period of time, over the period of our history, recorded history. And I'm going to start out with my purpose right now is to spread the word that we need genetic modification in a bad way, in a good way, in a good way, in a real good way. And within this is going to be the plan to do so. And I'm not exactly sure where the information came from. I just happen to have the knowledge that it's true. I believe that it's true. I'm not going to try to force it on anyone, but I want to share it because it seems so logical and so reasonable that I feel like it's believable to multitudes of people and will truly um, enhance our understanding and our ability to perhaps get ourselves into a desired state of livelihood for our human race and our whole species. Okay, this is gonna. I wish my mouth was matching my words, but there's a lag in the video and audio, and I'm gonna be looking down at this paper reading. So I'm sorry, it's gonna be boring, but it's interesting. So please listen. Okay. Pain is the chief complaint of the entire globe. There is no other topic that is more personal, introspective, negative, uncomfortable, and sometimes debilitating than pain. Since the beginning of our recorded history, pain has been a factor affecting the human race. However, the powers that be love us. Whether you call it God, Allah, a machine, a divine creator, a computer simulation, or a coded, well-planned series of events, the powers that govern us, I call it us, has exerted an effort to correct it in so many different ways. For example, it is believed by many that a forbidden fruit being eaten carried the punishment of pain at childbirth. When fruits spoil, they turn into alcoholic beverages and have the capability to put the drinker of it into a physical and mental state that blocks the mind and body from experiencing pain. The powers that be figured it out. Yay! Not so fast. The alcohol impairs the brain to the point where we are no longer fully functioning, productive, and responsible for ourselves and our loved ones. Being aware that the problem of pain involved both the body's and the mind's activity, our powers then investigated the contents of our genetic makeup. One possible solution was to consider that families procreate with each other. Although this removed from the next generation the guilty emotion associated with pain, because a lot of people who are mentally incapable of mental functions are have an innocence about them that where they do not feel guilt for their actions. So although this removed from the next generation the guilty emotion that had been associated with pain, it also created offspring that had deficiencies and rendered them unproductive and incapable of creating a productive civilization. At this point, though, it was apparent that the guilty feeling being removed was also a desirable trait, and therefore further genetic combinations should be tested until a pain-free genetic sequence that would also provide a normal, fully functioning, and intelligent human being was created. So the process began. Taking much time and accurate assessment of ourselves and each other, and having the complex brains that we have, making so many associations with the problem and not knowing the solution, the problem persisted. We gave the attention to the negative problems, careful not to associate them with our happy, comfortable selves, but fed the problem. Our powers were not so easily distracted, though. After millions of trials and errors producing multiple genetic deficiencies, while still having to make plenty of healthy, intelligent humans to be able to eventually apply the changes needed to ourselves with the proper knowledge and technology. Even a virus was created to recode our DNA. However, with that virus within us, it became associated with illness and death because we did not know its purpose and we feared the worst. It attacked the immune system and was called the HIV virus. Damn, we ruined a gift from our own genius selves that oversee us, or our powers that be. So after all the genetic sequences that would allow for a viable life had been checked, I tip my hat to those afflicted with those illnesses and sequences that render them incapable of caring for themselves, and um, and I really appreciate the struggle that has occurred. However, the effect um, that would allow for a viable life had been checked. The powers then realized that the nervous system's effect through its physical link to our DNA through emotions, love mainly, for example. For example, I mean, it's obvious. You can tell the difference between a person who is conceived with love and a person who is conceived with emotionless sex. A real chemical presence surrounds and begins the neurological flow and development of an egg and sperm when conception occurs. Love allows positivity and calmness and understanding to be involved in the actual formation of the physical body, allowing us to perceive the person as more beautiful. Genetic alterations caused some people to be born with less beautiful forms. Love calms the nervous system down to the speed of and flow at which development occurs the most efficiently. So, knowing that we want to keep love, but because emotions were investigated as possible links to pain, which we do not want to keep, we began to focus on these smaller carriers of the nervous system as possibilities for fixing the problem. That led to the creation of autism. Autistic children sometimes have an increase in sensitivity to pain and sometimes feel pain very dully and not as extreme. We were on the right track, but however, these children were sometimes not functional fully, and although many are highly intelligent, most have difficulty focusing and are socially shy or underactive with others. Recently, 3 families in Pakistan were born with the right sequence. Woo! They are normal otherwise. One cannot smell, but that was corrected, and the others can. They cannot feel pain. Hallelujah, we did it! Now the race is on to change our own DNA to include this modification. It is not an abnormality, ladies and gentlemen. It is a solution. It will start out slowly and with much skepticism. But we can now use the HIV virus and subject the desired sequential portion into our own DNA, and it will recode our genetics over the course of about 6 months. And then we will no longer feel physical pain. No more backaches. No more headaches. No more vaccine injections hurting our babies. The next belief we should immediately begin teaching the next generation is that women make new eggs throughout their entire life, and that when making love and a child is desired and wanted, it must begin a week in advance. The physical stimulation of the woman to begin the process of preparing the uterus for the implantation of the fertilized egg. It doesn't have to continue on straight for a week. I'm just saying, like, physical stimulation to prompt the uterus to prepare for the egg would have to occur a week in advance, just like with a period, to prepare that uterus lining with the blood and the nutrients to implant the egg. So, and if I had my own way, we wouldn't desire this until after the age of 25. But because we care and love for each other so much, we actually have like 8-year-old girls beginning puberty, all because pain is something we wouldn't wish on anyone. It was an all-in race to make as many combinations of human DNA as possible and as quickly as possible. Now we can calm down, please, and things will get back to an acceptable state of living eventually, after we fix the mental component of the problem, which may take hundreds of years to, you know, we're going to drop something in fear that it's going to land on our toe. We're going to react, and that quick thought is going to feed back into our flow that it's going to hurt, and that memory is going to be there, and that's going to take probably 100 years, maybe more, to get out of our brains. That is just the truth. It's going to take longer for us to change our mental occurrences of pain than it will for us to change our physical capability to perceive pain. Okay, so have you ever bit your tongue or your lip while eating? That is a subconscious association between food and pain that goes back to the beginning, where there are so many millions of people that believe that food and pain are associated. We bite our lips while we're eating, or we bite our tongue, and we have that hurt with food, because there's something about us, or around us, or within us, or goes between and back and forth, whatever it is, is thinking it's doing a good job. It's great. We have a beautiful, productive, intelligent, highly civilized society. I'm not dogging it at all. Don't be scared of it. Love it. It loves you. But it does things sometimes because there's an association that somebody else believes, or that is you just heard, or it's in your brain for some reason, and stuff in between has been deleted. Who knows? But it does happen like that. And just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it won't affect you. So whether you believe it or not, that's the whole reason we bite our tongues or lips, is because food and pain have that association. Okay, whether you okay, I already read that. We can change our truth. We can change the truth. Absolutely, abso-freaking-lutely, and God knows we lie, and He's cool with that. He's a forgiving God. He doesn't encourage it to get away with things just for out of spite, or to be mean, or to have your own selfish desires in mind. But for the betterment of our human race and our species, I think lying is going to be a grand and wonderful podium to start, because it has to be a lie to start teaching our next generation that we make eggs routinely, constantly when needed, or and as prompted or as stimulated. That a new egg, not just eggs, are made. That were I'm gonna stop right here and say, look, I learned both things. I learned two things. I learned that girls are born with all the eggs that they will ever have throughout their life, and I also learned that in oogenesis, which is, when I went to nursing school, which is the formation and genesis of ova, the eggs. So I don't know how we would know about oogenesis if we had all the eggs, and always have had all the eggs that we were going to be born with, and they were made at conception, or whenever, or not conception, but during development of the fetus. I don't know. They both seem believable to me. I never did connect it until just tonight that there was a discrepancy there. I didn't. There was not a. I kind of forgot about both of them because I didn't really mind. It didn't affect me either way whether they were true or not. So I really didn't have a profound reaction to them and keep them. I just let them go. It's like, okay, well, that's how, that's what you believe, and go on about your way. But I don't know which one is accurate, and I don't know which one is true, and I get conflicting information on the internet as well. So you'll have to go with your own knowledge on that, what to teach your kids. But here's the answer that I received from when I questioned, when I wondered in my questions, and that's how I get this information, these answers. Because I just wonder, and then the answer comes, and it makes sense typically. So we will have to teach our kids that little girl, or that not little girls, but pubescent women begin to make eggs. I'd have them do it after 25, but it's going to take hundreds of years to get to that point, because we're just so screwed up sometimes, socially screwed up, because of the lack of love and the presence of pain. And over the millions of years, the presence of pain has caused some bad damage that is going to take our souls hundreds of years to regain our love, our confidence, our happiness, our everything is okay within the world, and we are all peaceful, and we all tolerate each other's behavior, because everyone's behavior is acceptable and promoted and loved and cared for. And that's, I want to get back to that. I want it back. So, thus recoding. Okay, the answer is that the DNA modification will affect each and every cell in our bodies, including the factors that prompt oogenesis and spermatogenesis, thus recoding the eggs and sperm with pain-free DNA. Yes, we may see negative side effects from this process. That is nothing new to us, people. That is nothing new to us. Seeing negative side effects from shit is nothing new. They read them at a fast pace on the TV after every medicine that we take, after every. There's gonna be bad effects. There are gonna be probably, who knows, a couple thousand people born with something that we didn't expect, that we didn't think of, that we didn't plan for, that we have to have this reaction to. Oh no, it's a bad thing. No, it's not. It's not. It really is not. It really is not. Just. Oh, that was a negative side effect. Yes, let's. There's gonna be positive ones coming, because the DNA modification will affect each and every cell in our bodies, including the factors that prompt oogenesis and spermatogenesis, thus recoding the eggs and sperm with pain-free DNA. Okay, so we might see the negative side effects. It's nothing new, nothing new. We give attention to negativity too much and too often, and ourselves, our powers, our each other's, all of us together probably believes that we actually prefer sad situations. Unfortunately, that might actually be a possibility, and that is scary shit. I wouldn't recommend that to any planet. I recommend we remove freedom of speech for about 3 years, and everyone have to talk about positive topics or keep your mouth shut. I mean, I'm not saying you have to say yes to everything your kid wants. That's not a negative thing. I'm talking like, my aunt just died, and she died in a car accident. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Don't even share it. I mean, just don't tell anybody. And my sister has cancer, or my dog got a splinter in his foot. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody this stuff, because our imaginations latch onto it. Oh, that's the truth. That's information that is the truth to me, and the truth is important, and the truth is good, and lying's bad, but the truth is good, and this seems important, and so it makes visualizations, it makes images, it makes scenarios of that occurrence, and then when it's over, it's like an event that hasn't occurred in a computer or in a brain, but it's a collection of information that is understood and transferred, and you share it, we think it, we feel it, we emotion with it, we grab onto it, we put emotions with it. Then when those emotions are understood or felt by other people, those associations come in and create similar occurrences to what the news was, what the truth was, because it's all about the truth. So we got to be careful with what we say. We have to be loving with what we say, and we have to be positive and encouraging. And I don't care if there are 100 less words for good than there are for bad. If you got to repeat the same words, good job, honey, good job, honey, good job, honey. Oh, I wish I had something new to tell you right now, but just good job means the same thing. Please, good job. Just good job goes a long way. Good girl, good boy, good job. You cleaned your room. You did wonderful. If you don't want to clean your room, you don't have to right now, but you need to get it done within about an hour or two, or before we leave, or whatever it be. And I hope you can make yourself want to do it within that time, because if you're not able to make yourself want to clean your room soon, then you're going to have to do it without wanting to, and I'd rather you want to do it, because it's more enjoyable and it's more fun, and I'll help you when I can, or we can make a game out of it. You can throw your toys into a basket, or let's do something to get you to try to want it, and you use your own ideas to try to see how you can want to clean your room, and cleaning your room is going to have to happen throughout your life, and to want to do it is a blessing to have. To want to do the dishes is a blessing. To want to go to work, to have the want to exercise, to take care of yourself, to be good, the desire to be good, not just the hatred for the loss of or the lack of. That's a bad thing. And so, staying on the positive side of things, I'm gonna end it because I'm getting sad and I don't want to share that. So I hope you guys share it, because it's important. It's really important. If it's not important to anybody else in this world, if I'm the only person on the planet that actually feels negative physical stimuli. I'm worth it to get fixed. I will be fixed. I will not die until I get fixed. I do not want to die and be born again into the same society of unaware people that do not no, we're aware, but of people unaware that pain is not to be an expected thing. It's not an acceptable thing. It's not something we just have to deal with. It's actually removable. It should be, and I don't want to lose the answer that I've gained this life, which is the 3 families born in Pakistan, their genetic modification, which was labeled by, if you go to scholar.google.com and you look on there, you can search SCN9A, sodium channelopathy, and you can read about those families that the study was done on. They have their DNA stored here in the United States somewhere, but when they did the study, they decided that they should use all this information to make a new pain medicine that works for people. Well, they've done taking pain medicine away from people. It's stupid. And we should be able to get it at Walmart, because, I mean, if you got pain, it needs to go away. There's no question about it. 100% of the population would agree with that. If you have pain, you want it to go away. And so pain medicine was restricted. So they were talking about using the information about the genetic modification, or the genetic abnormality, they call it abnormality, that these families in Pakistan had, to use it to make a new pain medicine, which is silly, and we should be using it to modify our own genetics so that we can, I mean, the answers will come to us when we as a people wander and need and want and know that we have a problem. We get it fixed. It gets fixed. It really does. It gets fixed. People think of ideas. People have problems for how to keep 2 pieces of wood together hundreds of years ago. Today we got probably 1,000 choices and screws and nails and objects to hold them together. It takes a long time because there's so much stuff. We think so much. We think so quickly, and we think so detailed and so in depth that it takes a long time to get all the answers worked out or worked in to our lives. But it happens. It really does. So, we may not benefit 100% from this, our actions today, but we will in the future. I mean, we're not obviously not going to be the same people, but we'll still have our awareness about us that knows us and knows we're alive and living and happy, and we will begin to have more enjoyment in life. We really will. We also need to slow down a little bit. I think we need to slow down now that we are on the right track to getting things done. But okay, comment if you'd like. I would love to hear other people's opinions on this, and see if anybody agrees with me, if it's even important to you, because sometimes I try to bring this stuff up to people. I get shut down. I get weird looks. I get I get responses like, "Oh, we need pain," or we have to have it, or it tells us when something's wrong with our body. Who the fuck wants to know when something's wrong with their body? You want to know when something's wrong with your body? No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know when something's wrong. I'd rather just die pain-free without any knowledge of it, and never knowing what was wrong with me. We'll never know why I died, and that's a great thing, because we're reborn anyways, so what's the big deal? We won't be scared of death, maybe, because then if we know what's wrong with us, then all of a sudden we're going to start getting sick. We're going to have, oh, well, I got something wrong with me. Now we know it's wrong, and somebody's told me it was wrong. There were pictures and everything of the inside of my body, and now I'm throwing up, and now, then it goes on and on and on and on and on. Look at, like, people dying from long-term illness and sickness. We did that. We did that. I'm not blaming anybody, and I'm part of it. I think like that too. I have the same kind of brain. I don't know for sure if I have the same kind of brain as anybody else, but I hear similar things too, to my thought processes going on from other people, and we gotta quit that shit. That's stupid. That's just stupid. I don't want to be stupid. I don't mind to be. I don't mind if you think I am, but I don't want to be stupid I don't mind to be stupid and, like, intellectually, but I'm not, but I don't want to be stupid intellectually. I don't mind to be wrong on things like, oh, I thought that the cafe was in this town, but it was in that town. That's okay, but to be doing something wrong, like saying, like wanting to know when we have something wrong with us, I don't want to be that stupid. I don't want to be that kind of stupid. There's no reason to know that anything's wrong with us. Not even a little bit. Because as soon as we have the inkling that anything's wrong, the solution starts working in. It really does. We just got to give it time and quit worrying about it and let it come to us and fix it. I mean, eventually we're going to have the capability to repair. We repair our skin. We repair our organs inside. We can regrow our liver when half of it's removed. We can regrow it in 3 months. We have got a lot of genetic enhancements, and eyes are fantastic. They're freaking fantastic. I mean, vision is wonderful. Hearing is wonderful. All these positive things that we have going for us. And here's one thing, that if we remove the pain from our DNA, we will have a spot available to input features that we would like to include, such as, like, sharks have the ability to regrow their teeth. That'd be a wonderful thing. I'm missing a couple here. I've had some accidents, but that would be a wonderful thing. We can eventually implement that into our genetics. It's gonna be a little while, sure, because but there are components of sharks that are consistent with ourselves, so it will happen eventually. We can't just want that into existence, obviously, because we were not consciously aware during development of our first teeth. Then we were during the development of our second teeth, which started falling out when they don't even need to, and replacing themselves. It would be nice if that happened about 50 to 60 years old instead of 3 years old. That'd be cool. But I think what I'm understanding right now is that the original intentions behind the second set of teeth coming in was unknown to where we have ended up right now, and, like, our planet. Okay, so Eve is 3/10 of the word everything, and Eve and Adam were the first humans on the planet, or so we have come to allow into our set of possibilities. And so Eve is 3/10 of everything. I think, and 3 is 3/10 of 30, and that was irrelevant, but the age at which the teeth start falling out is around 5 to 6, and that's, tenths of 50, 60, which is about half our lifespan, which is when they should repair themselves, or regrow themselves. So I think that's proof, at least, that we have done this once before, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go again. Buckle up. And because we had to have been made in order for that mathematical error or issue to have occurred. I think all of us knowing that something was up kind of guided us into our situation with our only planet, and no other populated planet, and here we are stuck with this physical problem, and thank God it's not anywhere else, I hope, but I think until we get it fixed, we can't go populate a universe, that's for sure. We can't populate a universe with addiction, or, an addiction. I got an answer about how to fix addiction is to the mental factor of addiction is to look the addict straight in the face or tell them directly that you want them to, right now, this very moment, make themselves have that insatiable desire, insatiable feeling and urge to have that substance that they crave, whether it be nicotine, sugar, coffee, whatever it is that has become a problem that has affected their ability. Because what happened, that you need to tell them to get that, to make it happen right now, and they can't do it. They can't. It's impossible, because I'll tell you why. That craving and that desire that to have the substance and to need to get it, or to have to get it, or that overcomes any other processes, and justifies it, is a simultaneous thought, two thoughts at the same time. And what's happening is, from your past and your memory, something that you wanted and desired, like let's say you wanted to be a teacher when you grew up, when you were 5 years old. So something that you wanted back there, you really wanted, is now in your present day taking over something that you've already made a bad association with. So let's say you did meth. Like, I've done meth. I get it. I've done a lot of drugs, but I have done. And so let's say you've done meth, and then everything was good and you were fine on it. Well, then something bad happened, and you associated something bad with it. Let's say you got arrested, or you whatever it was. So now that you have a bad association with that drug, then it has become a problem, and I shouldn't have done that, and everybody's telling you, it's your fault, you fucked up, you should have known better, That brings in these vibes of, now that it's a problem, but it was something we wanted, but now it's a problem, so I shouldn't have done it. And that previous wanted that you had in your history, that I want to be a teacher, or I want to be I want to live in Mexico, or I want to go to wherever, that comes in. Anything that you've wanted comes in, and it replaces that. Where you wanted to do the meth, then replaces that don't want to do it anymore with its want to do it. Because the don't want to do it got so much attention, so many associations with it, it's recoding over those in your head with the want it, to do it, to make it okay, because really those people are wrong, and it wasn't a bad thing for you. It was them that had the problem with the drugs. They didn't want to do drugs. They didn't want you to do drugs. They had problems with it, and you were okay with it, but then it affected you badly because it's this negative social stigma. And yes, it's going to. So yes, we should quit, and we should sober up for a while. Everybody should, but they shouldn't be hating on people for wanting to fix themselves without a doctor who they can't identify with and understand, and they don't have a connection there with the doctor, because of the judgment that happens from both sides. But so addiction is what is occurring. There's a simultaneous thought. It's an effort and actually active on its own, without your conscious driving force. On its own, comes in from the left field or wherever, and is two thoughts stuck together, and one plants in with your wanted, identifies with that wanted to do drugs. The other one identifies with the problem that it had become, and it justifies it. And so to force someone to say, make yourself want it right now. Right now. I want you to make yourself want that drug like you just can't stand it without it. You can't stand life without it. You have to have it right now. Make yourself do that right now. They can't do it. It will tell your consciousness, hey, whoa, I can't do that. I can't personally make myself crave that drug. I can't. Or that sugar. Or that alcohol. I'm innocent. Truly am innocent. Was my mind and my soul right to make me feel justified in doing these things? Probably, but it will let us, our souls, know that we are truly innocent of addiction. And therefore, future negative associations will be removed from your awareness of it. So, let's say it might not take away the desire right away. It might not take it away within a month, but it's going to fade out and it's going to fizzle out. It's going to, I've seen it, I know it, I hope eventually you know it, and it might contradict you, and I hope it doesn't, but it does happen, that contradictions happen. So prepare that it's going to work, and hope into that it will work, and then your negative associations with that drug are going to cease to exist. You're going to probably enjoy it. You're going to feel a little freer with it. You're going to maybe get some more happiness out of it than you used to. And then it's going to go away because then it's okay. It's become an okay thing. It doesn't take two thoughts anymore. It doesn't take a simultaneous combination of thoughts anymore. And that's not a heavier thing for your brain to process. It doesn't get mental attention, and it fades out, and addiction ceases to exist, and you go on and you live a very productive and happy life. Hallelujah. It's wonderful. Okay, I'm stopping.